My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my review of Detroit Become Human. Is it Become Human or is it Becoming Human? I think it's Become. But anyways, this is a game I heard great things about, and if I'm being honest, I wasn't remotely looking forward to playing it, just because I'm not a big fan of these type of games that you've already heard me say that time and time again. I played Heavy Rain, hated it. I played Beyond Two Souls, and I actually kind of liked that one. A fair amount. I thought that one had a very strong emotional story, even though it does get bogged down by being this kind of game. This one is apparently the best one, and I have to say, after playing it, I do not understand the praise this game gets. But let's talk about what is the best thing about this game, and it's easily the graphics. I just like how you can see the slow progression of the graphics between the three games. You got Heavy Rain, which graphics are very dated, probably impressive at the time, but not so much now. Then you got Beyond Two Souls, which those graphics still hold up now. It's a very nice looking game, and the graphics here are even an upgrade from that. Just everything about them looks remarkable. Like whenever it focuses on someone's face, it just looked unbelievably real, which was really impressive. I also liked the design behind everything, how the cities looked with the trains and the buses, and how the androids looked with the little things here and the clothes that allowed them to stand out. I really like the design of this game. But like I've already said, I hate this kind of game. I hate this kind of gameplay. I just find it to be so underwhelming. Like whenever I make a choice and it leads to an unsatisfying scene, all I can think of is, well, what if I made the other choice? So it just detaches me from the story that's getting told because I'm more invested in what could have been. And not just that, there's so many moments where you're just walking around a room waiting for something to happen, and those moments just get unbelievably boring. And yeah, I have a million issues with this kind of gameplay. I won't go into it, but I just don't like it. I don't like it. I know it's my fault for playing this kind of game, but I still don't like it. But how is the story? Well, I do think there's potential in the ideas it's trying to explore. But it does not pull it off. This game is incredibly heavy-handed. It's drawing direct parallels to the civil rights movement and the Holocaust in moments. And I'm sorry, trying to compare androids that can feel emotion to real people, well, actual horrific stuff happened to them, it just feels so tone deaf. And not just that, this game also lacks any sort of perspective. It just focuses on three main androids without ever showing the other side. You know, there's moments in the background where you can hear that androids are taking up people's jobs, and there's a big debate on whether or not they should keep androids around or not. And it's trying to paint this entire game as black or white. Androids good, humans bad. And that's just not interesting storytelling. They never show us the different sides, never show us the different perspectives. So instead of making our own choices and decisions throughout the story, we're just left being told what to feel about everything. And it's so uninteresting. Like if this game was real life, I would without any doubt be against the androids. I would be on the human side, as most people should. But because it's trying to draw all these parallels from horrific historic events, then they would make you seem like the bad guy in this kind of storytelling. But these are androids, and those were actual humans. And it just doesn't want to explore that. Like, it would even be interesting if they showed some of these androids having doubts about these emotions they're feeling. Like, I think it would be interesting if in one scene, Marcus tried to free an android and he would be like, "Why did you do this to me? I was happy. I was doing what I was made to do." And then it looked down on Marcus for his selfish act just there. But no, the game doesn't want to explore anything with depth or meaning or that makes things more complicated. It just wants to paint a very black or white view of the world. And that's, yeah, like I said, it's uninteresting. There are three main stories that you follow. The first one is Marcus's, and this was easily my least favorite character of the bunch. I just never cared for him. I never cared for his story. Anytime it would go back to him, I'm just like, oh my goodness, can we speed it up a bit? Because I have zero investment in this. There's no depth or nuance, and he's just a really poorly written character. And yeah, thank you for this storyline. The second story focuses on Alice and Kara, who is meant to be the heart and soul of this story. And you can see that at the beginning of it. but then it just ends up going nowhere. It just rinses and repeats the same narrative beats time and time again. It's trying so hard to make you connect to these two characters. And then there's also this really bad twist that just ruins everything that made this story special. And yeah, I just didn't care for this story. And my ending of this story was just so unsatisfying. Then we've got Connor and Hank. And I know this is the story that everybody loves, and it's easily the best story, but I still didn't like it. I didn't really care for Hank as a character, because as soon as we see him, I already had his entire backstory figured out, and I'm just waiting for it to be confirmed. And yeah, I was right. I just found him to be a very predictable character. Some of the discussions these two characters have are definitely the most interesting, and I liked seeing these two completely different characters talking. But yeah, it still didn't do a lot for me. I thought it was a very underwhelming story with a terrible ending in my experience. And yeah, there was one moment in this game where it kind of goes into horror territory, and I kind of wish they played that up a bit more. Like, it reminded me of Toy Story, the scene where we see all of these toys in Sid's rooms, and I kind of wish we got more of that. But yeah, this game just didn't really do a lot for me. I just didn't think it was good storytelling. I don't think the characters were well written. I thought it lacked any bit of depth, nuance, or perspective. It was very heavy-handed in its approach, and it's just not gameplay that I enjoy playing. Like, if you're going to go ahead and be one of these kind of games, you have to have a really strong story, and this game simply did not. So I'm going to go ahead and give Detroit Become Human a 3 out of 10. Okay, have you become human? What did you think about it? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe. Stay tuned for some more videos soon. And Gavin,